Alright, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit different video. I appreciate you guys very much for waiting very patiently, to be honest with you, with the whole NBA Weekly scenario. I'm not saying that this is NBA Weekly, for now at least. There have been a lot of changes in my personal life that have made it very difficult for me to do NBA Weeklies because it takes a long time to process in the editing format with some of the visuals that I do. So for now, I wanted to make a video just talking about post All-Star break. How are these teams going to look? Some of our expectations and some of the, thoughts that we're going to carry into this final push for the playoffs, right? Because this is really what it is. This is where you're going to cement your season standings, really all done post All-Star break. Obviously from a literal standpoint, but obviously from a morale standpoint, getting these wins this late in the regular season really helps for a playoff push. So we're going to take a look at that. Also, I know the hair looks 80s tennis player like. Nevertheless, this is what it is, and let's get straight into it. So Boston Celtics 43-12. The expectation is they remain the first seed throughout the rest of the season, and they get that first seed spot locked and ready to go for the playoffs. Reason being is they're just a very complete team from top to bottom. Shooters, defenders. It's just insane how really competent this team is. Competent isn't even a good enough word. They're just elite, to be honest with you. This team is whole nother world of elite. So we should definitely expect them to be locked and loaded as the first seed. Now this is where it gets really, really interesting. We got the Cavs at 36-17. Bucks at 35-21, Knicks at 33-22, 76ers and Pacers very, very near with 76ers 32-22. I guess you can't say very near, but 6.5 is not like undoable. Heat 7 games behind, Magic 7 games behind up the second seed. So really the expectation here for the Cavs is to finish at least probably as a top 3 seed, right? I can't imagine that they lose so much where they can't be better than the Knicks or Bucks records wise. Reason being is because the Cavs have already played through several injuries. They know how to win without their star players in the regular season. Obviously playoffs will be entirely different, but they're capable of maintaining a solid winning record if they can just play the way they've been playing. Even when Mobley was out, even when Garland was out, both at the same time. Jared Allen stepped up, obviously Donovan Mitchell leading the way. Now with those guys back, presumably everyone being healthy, this team should definitely be able to lock in at least 3 seed or higher. But there is some questions revolving this next team, the Bucks. Though I think this is the only team that can really threaten the Cavs in terms of taking the second seed, is if they get their shit together, just because on paper they're so good. But Damian Lillard's defense has been absolute dog water. His shooting has been absolute dog water. The month of February, I think he shot 30% from 3. So the Bucks, they got to turn it around like soon, obviously, because with Doc Rivers now there, their record has shot down. I mean, they've literally dropped in the seeding, so that's unfortunate to see. And if you're a Damian Lillard fan, obviously, he's going through his own tough times right now. I think with the divorce happening relatively recently, obviously the moves in Milwaukee isn't easy, but the idea though is the Bucks don't drop down too much. The Bucks should definitely remain a 4 seed or higher. I can't imagine that they lose out to the Sixers in terms of from here on out. Reason being is Sixers obviously without Joel Embiid. I mean, what more can you say? Joel Embiid being out, presumably, again, I'm under the assumption he'll probably be out for the rest of the regular season. So we should probably have the Knicks locked and loaded as the 3 or 4 seed, maybe, if OG and Julius Randle come back healthy, ready to go. The Knicks are going to be rock solid. It's going to be interesting how the Pacers pan out, because the Sixers, I think they're actually going to just drop to like the 7th, maybe 8th seed. Obviously, without Joel Embiid, it's just going to be ridiculously hard. Sixers could easily drop to the 8th seed. But I think with the Pacers, they're going to be very interesting because with Siakam playing more and more games there and Tyrese getting healthy from his hamstring and all these other things going on there, which is adjusting to the new squad, I feel like they can make a push, right? Post All-Star break. They can get some wins going, possibly threaten the Knicks, or Bucks, depending on how much the Bucks lose. But I think the Pacers end up at the 5th seed. Yeah, because I would say Bucks probably 4th seed if they don't pick it up. Knicks take over. Yeah, Knicks and Bucks probably 3 and 4. Cavs probably stay at 2. Probably, you know, Bucks could, again, who knows what the Bucks can do. Maybe they turned it around. Celtics for sure, though, I'm happy to say locked and loaded. Bucks 3, 4, or 2. They're the big wild card here. Knicks, I just don't see them being any worse than 5. Like, sure, what if the Pacers make a run? But that team, when healthy, we know what they can do. They can win right now, and that's Knicks basketball, which I never thought I'd be saying, you know. But with that OG trade, it like pushed them so much higher, and obviously trading for Bogdan helps a lot too. So the Heat and the Magic are weird teams because I don't expect them to place high in seedings at all. I guess more so the Heat. I don't expect the Heat to place, honestly, higher than 6. I think the Heat are going to be a play-in team, right? Maybe they outdo the Sixers. Maybe the Heat sneak in at 6. But I don't think they'll be higher than 6. This team just seems to be kind of relaxed. You know, of course they want to win and they hate losing, but they seem content with resting players, kind of playing it smart in the long haul, and then in the playoffs, just let's make a strong ass push here. I would say Heat are locked and loaded between 6 to 8. I don't see them going crazy right in regular season. They play very load management kind of. Magic are definitely locked into the play-ins. I don't see the Bulls catching up to them in record. Honestly, I'd be surprised if the Magic don't stay at 8, but you never know what could happen. I think the reality of the Eastern Conference right now is these 9, 10, 11 seeds, I honestly don't believe. I just don't believe that the Bulls could beat the Hawks, then the Magic 2 in a row to win, or the Hawks and the Nets, you know, 2 in a row to make playoffs. I don't see it, dude. Especially with Zach LaVine out, that team is just not good enough. And then the Hawks, I don't see them beating the Bulls and then the Magic. Like, that is, honestly, I think the Hawks have a better chance just because they've been playing better as of late. They've still not good. I mean, 24-31 is not good by any means. But in reality, I really don't see a situation where Magic don't get in along with the Heat and beat whoever they have to beat in that play-in. These teams just seem so much more locked in. Like, the drop-off from 8 seed to 9 seed to me is pretty drastic. I see this 8 seed team in the Magic, and I'm like, yo, they're actually a solid team. Like, they're not going to do crazy damage. Honestly, I don't think they're going to do any damage in the playoffs, but they're really young, get that experience. Do I see an opportunity where the Bulls or Hawks can snag the 8 seed? I don't. Or Nets, if they want to do something, I don't see that. I just don't see it. I think what we got with the Eastern Conference right now, the top 8, this is going to remain the top 8. It's not as nearly as cluttered as you think it'd be, like the Western Conference. We'll get to that. But along with the Raptors, Hornets, Wizards, Pistons, there is going to be no playoff push, of course. Western Conference, this is where it's just a bloodbath. You got the Nuggets, Clippers, Thunder, and Timberwolves, who all of them could end up being the first seed, right? You could easily see the Nuggets making a run for the first seed. Clippers, the way they're playing, you could see it. Thunder, the way they're playing. Timberwolves already the first seed. These teams, man, it could go. It's just such a tight race. Then you got the Suns, the Pelicans, the Mavericks, the Kings, the Lakers, and maybe the Warriors, if they can continue what they're doing. They could all end up at the 5 seed, if you ask me. The way the Lakers are playing as of late, the Kings not playing too great as of late, 5-5 in the last 10, but we know how good they can be. The Mavericks won 6 in a row. They could definitely chase 5 seed. Pelicans, same thing. I just don't think there's a play here for any of these 5 or lower seeded teams to beat, you know, the Nuggets record, Clippers record, Thunder record. I think these top 4 kind of got that top 4 locked down. Like, at worst, they'll be at 4. At best, they'll all be at 1. It's pretty interchangeable, right? You know, you could say I favor the Timberwolves more. That's totally fine. But the Timberwolves will be no lower than 4. The Nuggets will be no lower than 4. The Clippers will be no lower than 4, and the Thunder will be no lower than 4. 4 is the lowest. Unless an injury happens, then obviously, boom, you know, it blow everything up. It changes everything. But assuming these teams are healthy, right? Suns ain't catching up. Pelicans ain't catching up. Nah. Speaking of, though, again, the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seed. Jazz, sorry, I'm not including you in the race for the 6th seed. Or the 5th seed, sorry. There's just no way. No way. Y'all lost 4 in a row. You know, you had a win streak going, but your team's just nowhere near consistent enough at all. But in terms of the 5th seed, I honestly think this is a tough one. I think the Kings will actually stay in the play-in. Pelicans don't have veteran experience. I could see that being a problem in forcing them in the play-in. The Mavs could make a run. Well, Lakers having Darvin Ham being dumb and not playing Rui as much as he should have been playing him for the whole season. I mean, look what happens when Rui gets his. He goes crazy. He had 37? 36, some dope shit like that. Like, if our head coach was more competent, I'd say maybe we could make a run at the 5th seed. My prediction here, Kings definitely stay in playing. Warriors definitely stay in playing. I think Pelicans drop down to 7. I'm biased, so it's hard for me to judge the Lakers. I want to say, honestly, the way that they're playing, they could definitely chase 6, but it's such a bloodbath, bro. Like, it really is. You just look at what all these teams are doing, especially as of late. Suns in their last 10, 7-3. Pelicans in their last 10, 7-3. Mavericks in their last 10, 7-3. Kings in the last 10, 5-5. But the Kings have proven with this squad that they can actually do some damage in the regular season, and they can threaten in the postseason. You know, they took the Warriors to Game 7. Lakers, any team with LeBron, you never count out. That's just the reality of it. You saw that they made Western Conference Finals last year. They got the same squad, right? Same head coach, same everything. I just can't imagine that the Lakers don't even, there's no way the Lakers drop out of the top 10. There's just no way. Especially with who's there. Rockets, I think, are fucked. I think the Rockets are just absolutely fucked. That squad is not good enough. They're not better than the Warriors. Jazz, same thing. Grizzlies, Blazers, Spurs are out of it. I don't even need to get into that. But seriously, Lakers here could be, I think they're the ultimate wild card, right? Of these, 5 through 10 seeds. I think the Lakers are definitely the ultimate wild cards. They could easily be 10 seed, depending on how they respond to Darvin Ham's coaching. Or they could easily be the 5th seed if they just play to how we know they are able to play, right? The last 10, they've been 7-3. They've been some solid teams. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think the Lakers are the ultimate wild card in the Western Conference. They're honestly similar to the Heat, where even if they end up as the 7th or 8th seed, they can do damage in the playoffs. Like, same with the Heat. We want to talk about the Heat for a quick second. This team is absolutely a wild card. Pacers, they're not going to do work in the playoffs. Too young, too inexperienced. At the best, a first round win against the Cavs, the Bucks, the Knicks, right? Something like that. But yeah, the Pacers, they're not going to do work. Magic, they're obviously just not going to do work. They have no chance at beating the Celtics if they stay locked in the 8th seed, and they have no chance. The Cavs, the thing is, Cavs aren't improving in the playoffs either, so I'm not going to say the Magic have no chance, but I'm heavily favoriting the Cavs. But against the Celtics, no shot. Bulls, obviously not a problem. Hawks, obviously not a problem. I think, genuinely speaking, I truly believe the Heat, though, are the wild card for this Eastern side. And then again, that Western side, I really think it is the Lakers. They've proven that even at a low seed, what was it, the 8th seed or 7th seed? I think it was the 7th seed. Yeah, because they played the Grizzlies. As the 7th seed, they can still make a run to the Western Conference Finals. Right now they're at the 9th, but their record is 20-36. Last year, during this exact same time, they were 27-32. So they're going to make their run, honestly. I really think they will. Curious as to what they'll do, though. Do I see the Kings doing anything if they even make the playoffs? No, I think every single team in the top 4 eliminates them. I think the Suns would eliminate them. Honestly, the Kings not making any trade deadline acquisitions was kind of a head scratcher. I mean, what you can argue is that there just wasn't anything worth trading for. Sure. But like, if you believe in the squad, like nothing to do nothing. I don't know. Suns. I don't want to disregard KD and D Book. But if they played the Nuggets, bro, they're getting washed. If they played the Clippers in the playoffs, that could be, more entertaining. If they played the Thunder in the playoffs, again, I'm just shooting ideas here. That could be really entertaining. I think that would be really entertaining. I think the Thunder, even though they're the second seed and they arguably could end the season in the first seed, that is a weird one to talk about because they haven't been in the playoffs. We don't know what they look like. Shea averaging 30 a game, right? Being an absolute stud. We don't know what he looks like in the playoffs. We're going to assume he's going to do work, but sometimes star players shrink. Example, Joel Embiid, James Harden, Chris Paul. Sometimes players in the playoffs just don't do it. I'm not saying that those three players I named are forever going to shrink, right? Maybe Joel Embiid in the playoffs turns that idea down. Says, no, I don't shrink. I'm rising to the occasion. James Harden, maybe he rises to the occasion, right? I'm just saying in the past, like we've seen it happen clearly. Game 7 with Joel Embiid, James Harden, we saw it happen last season. Like they shrunk and the moment came and it went. They just didn't do anything about it. So I would like to believe in Shea. I'd like to believe in this Thunder squad. I think they're very entertaining, but we don't know. So I think if the Suns played them, they could go for it, dude. I think if the Lakers played them, all these teams, the Thunder are such an unknown for as good as they are in the regular season. They're very unknown. My guess, though, honestly, Warriors probably stay at 10th seed. Lakers, I don't know, dude. I have a hard time imagining they stay at the 9th seed. Obviously, that would mean Kings drop to 9th seed, but the way the Kings have been playing, I don't know, dude. I think the Kings could easily go to 9th seed. Mavericks maybe go up to 6. Pelicans drop to 7. Lakers 8, or Lakers 7, Pelicans 8. I don't know. I think Warriors stay at 10, though. I just don't think there's any other way to kind of write that one out. They're just, for lack of a better term, not good enough. Maybe they jump to 9, but I don't know. Are we expecting a Kings drop off that much? No. No way. It's a bloodbath. Honestly, the Western Conference is an absolute bloodbath. Again, Spurs, Blazers, Grizzlies. Get your pick, bro. Rockets, you don't even have your pick. It's a rough time to be a Rockets fan right now, honestly, because you don't even have your pick, so you can't tank. But are the Rockets going to catch up to the Warriors? They're only 3.5 games behind, but they're not better than the Warriors, dude. They're just not. I mean, you see their away record too, like 5-21. God, that is agreed. That is awful. Let me know what you guys think, though. Whole lot of discussion to be had here. Honestly, this was 22-minute discussion of me just blabbing. It'll probably end up being a 13-minute video. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I don't know. But this is one of those discussions that get people thinking no, or yes, like in terms of agreeing or disagreeing. That is the NBA right now, especially the Western Conference. I really think, again, I'll go over it one more time just to kind of get my point across. Celtics locked and loaded at 1. Bucks are a bit of a wild card in that they could be 2, 3, or 4. I don't think they drop down to 5. Sixers are probably going to drop down to 8, maybe push the Heat to 6. Right, Magic probably could be at 7 or 8 depending on how the Sixers do. Knicks, I think they're locked and loaded as a top 4 guaranteed. Pacers, I guarantee you they're locked and loaded as a top 6. I guarantee you Pacers are locked and loaded as a top 6. They're gonna end up being better than the Sixers record wise, assuming Joel Embiid is out for the rest of the regular season. That is important. I have to clarify that. But we'll see. For clarifications in the Western Conference, the top 4 is the top 4. Whoever you see in the top 4, They can be 1, they will be no lower than 4. And then when you get to 5 through 10, because I don't think the Jazz are going to take the Warriors spot or Rockets. So when you get to 5 through 10, I think the Suns probably stay around 5 or 6. I don't think the Suns get to play-in. No way. There's no way the Suns get to play-in. Mavericks, I think, drop to 6. Lakers, 7 or 8. Right there with the Pelicans. I think Kings drop to 9. That's my bold prediction here. I think Kings drop to 9. Play the Warriors in the play-in. NBA would love that matchup on TNT. They would love it. They get so many views because it'd be a great game. And I think Lakers play the Mavericks or the Pelicans. Probably the Pelicans in that playing game. That's my prediction. But I'm a Laker fan. I would like to see them as the 5th seed. They're not taking 4th seed. But I would love to see the 5th seed being taken. That would be dope. Force the Suns or Mavs into a playing game, or whoever the fuck, as long as we do good. So the Laker fan in me says we're going 5th seed, bro. But the analyst in me says, fuck, are we gonna go the 5th seed? I don't think so. Either 6 or 7. Probably 7. Even 8, honestly. Not 9 or 10 though. The analyst in me says not 9 or 10. I don't think so. I think they end up doing better than the Kings. I truly believe the Kings will drop down to 9. But we'll see. We'll see. Wanted to clarify that though for those of you wondering, hey, dude, the title of the video is this. You didn't say what you think about this. Well, I feel like I spent the whole video talking about how I think it's going to unfold, but I wanted to clarify in the very end, like, this is how exactly I think it's going to unfold. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know what you think, your opinions. You're a Kings fan and you disagree with me. Hey, that's cool. That's the whole point of discussions, right? Bounce ideas, bounce thoughts off of our brains, and just say what we think and not be toxic about it. Just have these discussions, right? They're for fun. It's for entertainment. I think that's the whole point of this. But as always, I appreciate you guys for watching. This is Always Been Different. Always Been Different. And we out.